Hey guys, so I wanted to pop on and share my story a little bit. There's a lot of people on here that are just recently meeting me, or you guys, some of you have been following me for almost 2 years now, and the story can get a little disjointed. I share something here, I share something there, and I wanted to pop on and talk a little bit about my story. And this is not going to be 3 hours long of, I was born September 21st, 32 years ago. We're not going to go there. I don't remember that day at all. My mom does, but I don't. I definitely have some memories of playing with my brothers, and there's definitely videos of that growing up. Not going to go there. But where I will go is to when I was about 10 or 11 years old. That is the first time I encountered feeling large, feeling fat, feeling pudgy. And I wish I was at my mom's house right now because I could find some pictures, because I wasn't. But I wasn't the traditional flat figure of some of my friends. And so I felt a little heavier, and there were definitely dresses that didn't look right on me. And that's about the age where girls start to notice, hey, I'm a little uncomfortable with the way I look. Our bodies are starting to change. Some of my brothers were husky, so being a little fuller in my family was common, and that was part of it. I was also the kid that I used to like gobble snacks. Like, I didn't portion control. I didn't have any concept of portion control. I could eat 2-3 servings of food if I liked the food. And it's interesting because I was a little pudgy, and then around 7th grade, I was not. I'd lost all vestige of baby fat, but I still didn't think I was thin. And it's funny because I look at my pictures for my bat mitzvah, and I'm like, my ribs were like right there, because my ribs, the way I'm shaped is that my ribs are a little bit more prominent, and no matter how heavy or how thin I am, they're just bigger. Like in that area, I'm bigger boned. Whatever, I don't know. And so I did not have a stomach. I was not heavy, but I was so self-conscious. I do not remember ever in my life not being self-conscious about my weight. That's a little crazy if you think about it. For a majority of my life, more than majority, for about 20, a little over 20, about 20 years, sorry guys, work with me on the math over here. For about 20 years, I have been wary of my weight. That's a little sad. That's a little unfortunate. We should not be raising our kids like this. And not that my mom was ever like that at all. My mom was a really heavy child. And so she did not ever make any of us feel that way. Absolutely not. It was just society at large. It's, you watch a Disney movie, you read a magazine, you're hanging out with friends. You just start to notice the different nuances in your body, and nobody comes around and says, you are perfect the way you are. And don't worry about it, because you're probably going to worry about it for the rest of your life, being that you're a girl. So that was, like I said, unfortunate. And then I hit high school, and in about 10th grade, I struggled with some stuff. And I had some ups and some downs, and I ended up switching schools, and I went out of town for school. Out of town meaning like out of the town that I was in. I attended private school growing up. And around that time, I put on 20 pounds. But I still looked good because I was still within like a healthy BMI. But that is basically when I started yo-yo dieting. From 10th grade all the way until I hit 30, I yo-yo dieted. That's a lot of years. Somebody else do the math. What is that? I was about 15 in 10th grade, so that's 15 years of yo-yo dieting. And the way that it started, it was super unhealthy, right? Because we have all these crazy unhealthy concepts. I was always a carbaholic. If you handed me carbs, I ate them. They were my kryptonite. They still are my kryptonite. I stay away because I have a hard time stopping. So fast forward. We're in 10th grade. We've put on 20 pounds right now, right? I've gone from a size 4 to a size 10. I know it was only 20 pounds, but somehow I managed to jump that amount of weight. And then you go, 11th and 12th grade. And you know what I remember doing? I would eat a chocolate candy bar. And then that night, I would get on the treadmill and, I don't know, just walk on the treadmill for an hour. And I was fine. And I didn't really gain, didn't really lose, or I would gain, or I would lose. Again, like we're talking about, I fluctuated between 10 and 20 pounds for the next couple of years. And then, you know, and I did have a lot of healthy concepts because I want to shout out to my mom. Like growing up, I'm one of 7, and we always had salad on the table. We always had vegetables on the table. You know, there was always veggies. We didn't have soda growing up. We didn't have juice. I think I want to say when I was like 3rd grade, my parents got rid of juice and soda in the house. So that was awesome. Like kudos to my parents for doing that because we just didn't grow up with any of that. And I carried that into the rest of my life. I went through periods of my life where I ate, but like in high school, oh, this is a classic one. When I was in 11th and 12th grade, I survived on noodles and cheese. And not just any cheese, guys. It was American cheese. And sometimes I had ketchup. And we would cook, the family that I lived with, we would make this massive pot of noodles. And we'd stick it in the fridge. And there was a huge block of American cheese. Again, we'd have that in the fridge. And we'd zap it in the microwave. So probably 2 or 3 times a week, I was having noodles and cheese for dinner. No, not for dinner, because the family that I live by, she always made dinner. So it was definitely on Thursday, and then sometimes when I came home from school, if I was starving, and definitely on Sunday, you know, like during lunchtime and stuff like that, okay? So we're now starting to develop this really unhealthy pattern of eating really unhealthy food starting from a really young age. And even though nobody ever noticed that I was heavy, because to some level I was not, right? To some people's minds, I was never heavy, like because to comparative or because they just didn't see it. Because of my body shape, I'm able to carry more weight without it being noticeable. So I was able to fluctuate 10 to 20 pounds on a constant. I tried pills from a pharmacist, like those, I forgot their name brand. It doesn't matter the brand, but all those things came out when I was like 11th and 12th grade. And me and one of my friends, we'd buy the pills. I will not shout her name out, don't worry. We would buy the pills and we would diet. And it was so unhealthy because we were trying to attain this image of what we decided a girl needs to look like and who she needs to be instead of just focusing on being healthy. And just focusing on enjoying high school and just focusing on just being the best person that we could be. Kind of sad, right? So then fast forward it, I am now out of high school. I was pretty active, and I feel like because I was pretty active, you know, you still can keep the weight off no matter what you're eating to some level when you're young. Even with PCOS, that was never my thing, the weight gain. It wasn't until later. Started dating. I was like really like I didn't have a baby yet. So my stomach was just flat. That was not my problem area. And my problem areas were I was able to easier hide them in a skirt and in a dress. You know, then because I had a tiny waist. So it kind of balanced it out, right? But I'm still closet dieting. Okay, yo-yo dieting, closet dieting, trying everything in the book, off and on and off and on and off and on. I would eat something healthy and then turn around and eat garbage. Okay, so it was such a dichotomy because I would survive on a salad and then I'd turn around and have noodles and cheese. So, right, there's no balance here. I'm making a good decision by having a salad, but then I'm turning around and having white noodles and American cheese, and there's no nutritional value there. I met my husband, got engaged, had a bit of a stressful engagement. And for me, throughout my life, food was always, you're having a good time, you eat. You're having a bad time, you eat. My family, we would easily, okay, granted, I was one of 7. So that's 8 people eating that tub of ice cream. We would come home. My mom would go shopping on Thursdays for the weekend and for the following week, and she would get like 1 or 2 tubs of ice cream and they were gone. My dad would make a potato casserole on Friday afternoon. We would finish the entire thing before the Friday night meal. So yes, there were healthy habits and there were unhealthy habits. I actually a bunch of years ago, like I could have a bowl of ice cream, but I'm not like, oh my God, I always have to have it. But like my family could polish that off. It was craziness. And then I got engaged, had a super stressful engagement. I don't think I ate during my engagement. Lost a lot of weight. I lost about 10 pounds, I think. I was my thinnest ever since, ninth grade. Super stoked, super excited. But again, it wasn't real. So right after I got married, Asaf and I gained a lot of weight. And one of the reasons we both gained 20, 30 pounds in our first year of marriage is because we ate out a ton. And I didn't get pregnant till after our first anniversary. So we lived in New York. We lived in Brooklyn. We used to go out with friends all the time. We used to go out, just the two of us, all the time. We oftentimes, dinner was eaten out. I would get home from work. I was exhausted. Asaf was exhausted after he had a crazy long day. And we would just order takeout because it was just so much easier. But it was so super unhealthy. So we then again went into this pattern. I got pregnant, and for 10 months I threw up. Yes, we're pregnant for 10 months and technically 9.5 because starting at week 2 I threw up, which is a little early for some people. And crazily enough, all I wanted to eat was fettuccine alfredo and cupcakes and donuts. So that probably helped me throw up even more. And because I was so nauseous, I couldn't go in the kitchen, especially in the first few months. It was summer. We didn't have air conditioning in our apartment in the kitchen area. And the kitchen area didn't snake around. Like the air didn't really comfortably go into the kitchen. So I didn't want to be in a really hot kitchen. I was really not feeling well. And I had broken my hip. So now, and I quit my job because I was so sick. So we're back to the same place, guys. We're still in this same space of not eating healthy, no good habits. Yes, some habits were fine. I had salads, we ate fruit, but the portions were never normal. And there was always too much dressing on the salad. So yeah, you're eating a healthy salad, but the amount of sugar on that salad is basically a candy bar. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but you get where I'm going with this. Okay? We have Leah Batya, beautiful, beautiful Leah Batya, love of my life. I'm super excited because in the hospital, as I gave birth, I dropped 25 pounds. So I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, I got this. I gained 50 pounds in my pregnancy. And I threw up for 10 months. That's a little crazy. Most women that throw up like me lose weight and are in the hospital. And one of my friends goes, Zelda, aversion therapy would never work on you because look at this. You're throwing it up and you're still eating it. I know it's a little disgusting, but my relationship with food was a little disgusting, truthfully. I don't think I would do that now. I hope not, right? Anyway, so have Leah Batya, and I nursed her till she was 18 months old. And I'm like, great. Everybody tells me you do ab squeezing and while you're nursing and you go back to your previous weight. Who told you that? I want to raise the hand. Who told anybody that? And yes, it does work for some women. It did not work for me. It did not work for me. I gained weight nursing. And then that started a period of 5 years of closet dieting. And again, I had already the pattern from when I was younger. I'd always done it. I'd always eaten whatever I wanted, and then I would work out like crazy, or I would eat super healthy for a couple weeks and then I'd be fine, right? Or try some of the pills, right? All that. So now we've had Leah Batya and I'm not losing weight. I'm not feeling great. And instead of losing weight over the next few years, I gained 10 pounds. But over the next few years, I never got lower than 165. I would get up and I went down. I went up and I went down. And I would get down to 165 and a week or two later, I'd be back up again. Because my lifestyle didn't change. And I would lose weight and I would treat myself with a donut. Because, yeah, that's going to help me. That's going to help me keep off my weight. That's going to help me embrace my new lifestyle. Well, Fast forward to December 2017, and I had enough. I was just tired. I was tired of being tired. I was tired of not being able to take care of my kid. I was just too tired to take care of my kid. And granted, like I have PCOS and questionably have thyroid issues, and I have Epstein-Barr virus, and I do have mono back and forth. I probably had mono over the last bunch of years, a bunch of different times that I'm like, oh my gosh. But, and here's the massive but, having lost 45 pounds and changed my lifestyle with mono, I still managed to do so much. Like, I look at some of the stuff I did in August and I'm like, how the heck? In September and June, I'm like, how the heck did I do any of those things, right? Because I was so sick. But here was the difference. I was no longer completely sick. I was no longer constantly sick. Because before I lost my weight, I was always sick. In the sense of I never felt good. I was always tired. I was always dragging. Always. There was never like a day that didn't go by. Now, I have days, I have weeks that go by without me being sick. Without me feeling like crap. I have strep right now, guys. I haven't been able to kick my strep for a week and a half. I'm working on it with my doctor and my homeopath. Like, we're getting it gone. Whether or not I take my tonsils out, I don't know. We'll see. But I went to Phoenix. I sat through a conference. I hung out with friends. When I had mono, I went to Disney World. I went to a convention. 2 years ago? No way. No way. I would not have been able to do that. Because my whole lifestyle was so unhealthy between my sleeping, my eating, the way I thought, the way I act, the way I responded. And that's another thing, guys. When you don't feel good, I don't know about you, but when I do something that I'm not proud of, or when I don't feel well, I'm not a nice mom, and I'm not a nice wife, and I'm not a good friend. Because you don't have space. I remember the difference. I remember speaking to Asaf about this and noticing the difference in how I'm reacting now to things versus how I reacted to things 2 years ago. No, I'm like, wow, you stayed with me. That's amazing. But the truth is that, listen, that's besides the point. But yeah, that's the thing. When you start working on yourself and you feel good about yourself, it doesn't just stop and start at your weight or at your diet. It keeps going. That's the incredible part. It just goes and goes and goes. And it becomes a reaction. So for some of my clients, they start with their weight. For some of my clients, they don't need the weight. And we just start working on the mind and the transformation of their lives. Because when you can step in to the whole system, when you can step in and be like, holy crap, I feel amazing. I look amazing. I feel so much better. And you know what, guys? Because I lost this weight, I'm able to focus on getting even healthier. Because before I lost the weight, I couldn't do that. I couldn't focus on, I didn't even want to see a fertility doctor. You know why? Because I'm like, all he's going to tell me to do is lose weight. Now the doctor doesn't tell me to do that. He doesn't tell me go lose weight in order to see me because I've already done that. And the goal is, guys, is we're not just here to lose weight. We have to get our minds healthy too. We have to get our everything healthy. So I am committing the rest of this year, the next 6 weeks till the end of the year, whoever wants to join all freaking in. Because guess what, guys? This is your time. Don't wait to make that next year New Year's resolution. You know what? I worked on my dream board and I'm going to share it. And I'm a little scared to because it scares the crap out of me to share that. But I'm going to share it. I'm going to share my dream board. And you know what? I'm going to commit to filling out that dream board. And that in a year from now, I'm going to be making a bunch of checks. But you know what? I'm not waiting till January 1st to start working on my dream board. And I'm not waiting till January 1st to get there. I'm starting today. So if I can help you, whether it's a transformation in your mind, your body, or your finances, feel free to reach out. I am here 100% all in. I got you guys. Anyway, have an incredible, incredible night.